Great. I think we're ready to begin the conference. At this time, I'd like to hand the floor to Joyce Hollingsworth from FCICA.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I'm Joyce Hollingsworth, the Program Director of FCICA, the Flooring Contractors Association. I'll be moderating today's product webinar from Sunbelt Rentals. We're pleased to have Sunbelt Rentals today as it fits our educational part of our mission here at FCICA. As the premier resource for commercial flooring contractors, our mission is to educate, network, lead, and provide business support to our members. Our next 3 days to SIM, which is coming up, is taking place in Nashville, Tennessee on March 7th through 9th, 2020. That is only less than 6 weeks away. It's an intensive 3 days, Saturday through Monday, in the fun city of Nashville. We're really looking forward to it. This SIM training is immediately before our national convention at the Sheraton Music City Hotel, also in Nashville. You can see all the details about this SIM training on our FCICA website, fcica.com. It's a great opportunity to get your SIM certification in an intensive 3-day weekend. If you have any questions about this SIM training, please email me at Joyce, Joyce, at fcica.com, and I'll be happy to speak with you about this essential training for installation managers. We have another product webinar coming up in February. And as you can see here, it's with Protect All Flooring. It'll be held on Wednesday, February 26th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Register to attend this free product webinar through our website, again, at fcica.com/webinars. In February, our educational webinar will be Risks of Self-Performing Concrete Moisture Testing. Greg Mercurio from IFTI will be presenting. This educational webinar will be on Thursday, February 20th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, you can register for this educational webinar on our website, fcica.com. Get it on your calendars now, as it really promises to be full of useful information that'll help you and your teams be more effective when working with self-performing concrete. And then to give you a quick overview on the 3 different ways that you can get your SIM certification, it really depends on your need for flexibility or focus or structure. We've got the right path for you. The flexible path in the left-hand column really shows how you can take the SIM courses online, whatever day and whatever time you want. The second column, the middle column, the focus path, is what I just described a couple of slides ago in the 3 days to SIM. We schedule that 4 times a year, and it's a group experience in person with other people taking the webinars at the same time with you, and there's plenty of time for dialogue and discussion, Q&A about each of the webinars throughout the 3 days. And then finally, the third path, which is a structured path, and that is really a variation of the first one, which is online, but we can schedule a day and a time to meet with you online individually as you take your online course at the schedule that works for you. So those are the 3 days, the 3 paths to get your SIM certification, and we want to end up quickly with a quick overview of our Flooring Contractor magazine, which is published 4 times a year. As you can see, our winter issue 2019 is ready to view online. The focus of it is flooring in restaurants and retail facilities. In it, we've got articles written by our SIMs and other FCICA members that include such things as surface prep, tiling and grouting, maintenance, and more. You can also see on our magazine a link to our convention brochure in Nashville, which I described a few minutes ago. I highly recommend you check it out. So starting with our next slide, we will be recording this product webinar from Sunbelt Rentals so you can have access to it in the future. With this product webinar from Sunbelt Rentals, any views and opinions expressed are those of the presenters and do not necessarily reflect any official views or positions of FCICA. And now I turn it over to Rory Sala and Ronald Bridges from Sunbelt Rentals. Thank you, gentlemen. We look forward to what you have to present today.
Thank you, Joyce, and thank you to the entire FCICA group that made it to the call today. We're honored to be here representing Sunbelt Rentals Flooring Solutions, and I want to make a couple of quick introductions. My name is Rory Sala, and I have had a great opportunity to meet Kim and some of the leadership team with the FCICA in different settings, and we're very honored to be a part of this group. And we will also be in attendance in your Nashville convention, and we look forward to getting to know you better there as well. I'm also joined by Ron Bridges. He is our concrete expert, and he is going to help me with the back end of the presentation. He's very, very familiar with every aspect of preparation and polishing and flooring applications, especially as it relates to concrete. And also, I'm joined by Todd Mayer. He is our region manager that covers the greater central area of the United States. And Todd is joined by Brian Weber, our Nashville branch manager. And both Todd and Brian will be in attendance at your Nashville show. They'll look forward to meeting you. And everything you're about to see here today is going to be downloaded on a memory stick, a Sunbelt memory stick, along with all of the resources that we can offer you in this area of floor care and the preparation and polishing. And if you find this, that we can help you grow your business with the information, and that is our objective, is to help discover your possibilities in growing your business with this level of floor prep and polish, you can stop by our booth and get a free memory stick with everything that you're about to see here today, as well as meet two of our finest in the form of Todd Mayer and Brian Weber. So without any further ado, with Sunbelt, we're a very safety-conscious culture and organization, not only for our people, but for your people, your customers. As we come on your job sites delivering rental equipment, we always bring safety first in our culture. So regarding today's presentation, we would always recommend that you wear the proper PPE gear. Of course, that stands for personal protection equipment. If you are using propane, please understand the carbon monoxide safety, and we can help you with that. Ensure that your operators are properly trained on the equipment. When we come on a job site, we always make extra time to train your people, and we enjoy the process, and we welcome the opportunity. We always bring operators manuals with the machines that you're going to be renting, if you so choose. Much of the material nowadays is backed up on YouTube and multiple other areas to get proper training. And of course, this relates not only to the application, but to your operator safety. And when you're working with concrete, you do want to understand the OSHA regulations as they relate to silica dust laws. You'll see a live link here. I'm not going to click on it, but it is a great way for you to educate you and your team on the OSHA rules if you don't already have that knowledge. And it is a live link that you will also be able to get from the memory stick at your upcoming convention. So Sunbelt, we are a very large company based throughout North America and Canada. We're, in terms of revenue, about $5 billion a year, and what makes us different than a lot of rental companies is that we specialize in categories of rental equipment with people and with product and the way we go to market. Many, many years ago, we did everything through a division called General Tool, which we were great generalists, and you'd mainly find us on construction sites, and we still are there today. But what we found is that when construction ends, facilities maintenance begins. And with that, we started specializing in facilities maintenance rental product and people that can bring best-in-class training. And so you'll see that we have a power and HVAC, climate control, scaffolding. We are there on the right with the green Tenant T7. That's a little automatic scrubber. And we always say, you know, where you grind, you scrub. So scrubbers are very relevant to this presentation as well. And we have multiple other divisions. Ground protection is something that might be of interest to you, as well as other industrial type services. But we rest in the Flooring Solutions division, which is where all of our expertise and high-end equipment exists. We are a part of a national muscle with over 850 locations. This represents the power of Sunbelt. We have a very large haul fleet. We're one of the largest logistical companies in the U.S., so we can move fleet around very quickly and efficient. So if you give us just a little bit of notice, we can get you product right away. In many cases, the very same day. Our value equation is immediate availability, reliability, and ease. Where Flooring Solutions exists, and this is the division that the Sunbelt folks that I mentioned earlier represent, are in all of these green dots across the United States, in addition to Kansas. We just recently opened up a new location in Kansas, and in a couple of weeks, we're opening up in Greenville. So we have 45 locations. If you roll back the clock 4 years ago, we had one. So we know, and we hope you would agree, that there is a strong appetite for renting this kind of equipment. We can bring it on site for you. We can take it off site for you. Of course, we've already mentioned we can do training, and we can help you grow your business with a rental model versus a sales model. We don't sell equipment, we only rent. So we're a pretty friendly group to do business with, in my opinion, and I have been on both sides of the fence. Our value equation, again, is immediate availability. We have fleet sitting right now in one of those locations near you. It's best-in-class fleet, as you're about to see. Our fleet is reliable. It's clean when it shows up. If for some reason a machine that we have on rent with you goes down, we fix it within 4 hours of the agreed upon time, or we usually bring a very similar, if not identical, piece with us to the job site and we flip it. So you're not having downtime on repairs of machines. We'll keep you up and running and keep your teams up and running very efficiently. We are 24/7, 365 days a year, and every one of us on the phone knows what that looks like. We're not afraid to keep that phone near us at night, and we answer it right away, and you're guaranteed a call back within 1 hour after you call our after-hour service if you didn't get us live. So we really do live the 24/7, 365 days a year mentality. And why we put this in bold, the last bullet point, is we would like to train. We would like to help you with product selection, as you'll see here in just a couple of minutes, and project analysis. You don't have to go it alone. We have people in place that would like to help you grow your business with this style of equipment. And with that, I'm going to introduce Ron Bridges. He is by far our expert, although I will tell you that Todd and Brian are going to come to your convention very well equipped to have these professional discussions. But without any further ado, Ron, I'm going to let you take the controls and take us through an introduction to concrete preparation, repair, and polishing.
Thank you, Roy. First, we want to talk about the actual market. This is some information that we got from the website. This, again, with the memory sticks, this will be a live link where if you wanted to look into this more, you can. But basically, it's showing that polished concrete is a growing market and expected. The report was done in 2016, so it's a little bit behind, but it takes a while for everything to get printed and put on the internet. But you'll see that polished concrete accounted for about 54% of the U.S. market in 2016. The coatings is expected to account for 46% of the U.S. market by the end of 2025. Commercial was the largest application accounting for 56% of the U.S. concrete flooring market in 2016. So it is a big market. All the equipment that I'll be going over will be used for either polishing, restoring, or prepping for a coating of the concrete. So what is polished concrete? Polished concrete is a surface that has been ground, honed, and refined to either the maximum level of that concrete or to the desired level of your budget. The process. First, you've got to remove whatever's on the concrete, be it carpet, be it tile, be it a coating. Then you go through a grinding process. This is usually a 30 grit or 70 grit, and excuse me, sorry. Then you go into honing. Honing is getting refiner. Each step is getting just a little bit better, 50, 100, 200. And then you start to get into your polishing phases. That's your 400 grit on up. So what are the benefits of polished concrete? You end up with superior durability. It's not like a carpet or a ceramic tile or anything that can get replaced every so often. So it is cost effective. Over the life of the floor, the polished concrete is the most cost effective option. You have low maintenance. Improved reflectivity. So you've got a shinier surface there at the bottom, so it reflects light better. No production or plant shutdowns. You can go in and do sections at a time and then move equipment around and do other sections afterwards. And it's ideal for heavy foot traffic. This is why all your big box stores and the like are going to this. It is environmentally friendly. So you can get LEED points by polishing concrete. It is considered environmentally friendly because you're putting less materials on the project. You're reducing airborne contaminants through the densification process. All the chemicals used in polishing are low VOC, and this method aligns with the LEED rating systems. So contractors can get LEED points for using polished concrete. The markets where this is being used is just about anywhere there's concrete. So you have industrial manufacturing plants, warehouse facilities, retail shopping centers, automotive dealerships, aircraft hangars and terminals, hospitals and health cares, schools, restaurants, hotels. Most of these are going to be places that you are already doing business in. So in order to determine what equipment you need, it's going to be kind of like Google Maps. The first thing Google Maps needs is to know where you're at and where you're going. Working with concrete equipment is the same process. You've got to know what the current conditions of the floor are now, and you need to know what the desired finished outcome is. Picking the wrong equipment at the beginning could make a change in what you're going to get at the end. If you look over to the right at these two pictures, you can see these were shot blasted when they probably should have used a grinder. Shot blasters leave cornrows, so when you put a clear coat over them, you're going to see all those. They also do some pretty deep profiling. So that top picture where they put a thin epoxy, it was not thick enough to cover that profile. All right, questions asked. So what you want to find out first is what is the current condition of that floor? Is it just plain concrete? Has it got a thin coating on it? Has it got VCT, carpet? Once you determine what's on the floor now, then you want to determine Once you determine that, then you're going to want to determine what the final results are. So if they're putting a thick coating or a VCT or carpet, you don't have to be as selective as how you remove whatever's on the floor as you do if it's polished concrete. Polished concrete, that your concrete is the canvas, so you want to be protective of that. Then additional things you want to find out is how many square feet they're doing, how old the concrete is, and old concrete doesn't really affect this process, but where it's important is if it's new concrete. In most cases, unless something special has been done, you don't want to get on this concrete polishing it until after it's 28 days old. What are the time constraints? Can you use propane? Do you have proper ventilation? What electric power is available, and how far is the electric from where you're working? And then how do you access the job site? Stairs, elevators. Some of this concrete equipment and others can be very heavy, so you really don't want to have to try and get them up and down stairs. Floor scrapers. Floor scrapers are going to be your first line of attack. They're going to be used to get whatever is on this floor. As you see in this picture, there are several types. You've got your small electrical units, you've got propane units, and you've got battery-operated units. Scrapers are used for removing mastics, carpets, tiles, VCT, overlays. Now, with epoxy, it will remove epoxy if it's a thicker coating. A lot of times your thinner epoxies, the blade's just going to ride up over top of it. Other items that's not often thought of is like factory buildup, where you see there in the corner you'll have paint booths that have drippings, you have fiberglass production that gets on the floor, steel mills, buildup of grime. With the scrapers, you have multiple tools for whatever it is that you're trying to take off. So you have your heavy-duty flat blades that are for removing coatings and VCTs, linoleums, along like that. Then you've got your self-scoring blades. What these do is cut out strips that make it easier for you to roll them up and carry them out. It's good for like carpets, rubber, things like that. Then you have steel shanks, which are for removing your harder items. They're for removing ceramic tiles, marble, and wood.
Yep. Ron, what I might interject here, just real quick before we hit the play button, is for the audience that might be getting a little nervous or thinking that this is a tough way to grow your business, do not worry. It's an ideal way to grow your business, and we can help you. A lot of the questions that Ron put forth are great questions, but if you're not comfortable in this environment, our team will be glad to help you. You can come by any one of our locations and for nothing other than the time that it takes and allow us to get you a cup of coffee, you can run some of this equipment, you can walk around it, you can pull on it, you can we'll fire it up for you and let you take a look at it. And then if you even want on-site consultation, that also is free of charge. We can't be everywhere all the time. We're not in some of the Montanas, and we're not quite everywhere right now. But the locations that we showed earlier, we can get anywhere within a 50 to 100 mile radius pretty quick, and we're happy to come on job site and do some on-site consultation. We don't want you to use the wrong gear. If you're renting from us, we certainly don't want you to rent the wrong gear. So don't worry. Their help is right there with you if you need it. So with that, Joyce, this is our first video. If you would please hit the play button, we'd be honored. we do a lot of remediation, and you probably know that when category storms are named down the Gulf Coast area and other areas, Sunbelt usually is going in when a lot of people are going out, with dehumidifier equipment and equipment to help power people back up, generators, things like that. In the flooring world, these scrapers are the first things to go, and we end up with a long list of reservations for them because, as you can imagine, flooring is one of the first casualties, for facilities, and they want to get it up and out of there as soon as possible before mold and mildew sets in.
And it said it should be playing. So this first video is the small little 110 walk behind. It can save you manpower over hand scraping and removes a lot of heavy materials off the floor. We'll see if this one will work. Okay. This picture that should be showing now is a battery unit. Zero emissions, so if you're in an area where you cannot use propane, this is a good item to use. They're usually smaller than some of the propane, so they're easier to get into places that you might not be able to get in with a propane. This here is a propane unit. Usually with the propane unit, you have more power, you've got longer run time, so you don't have to worry about charging. All you have to do is change out the propane tank and start going. What this video shows, this is the Miami Dolphin Stadium. They're removing a rubber type coating off of the floor, getting ready for the Super Bowl. Shot blasters. Shot blasters are made for removal. They're made for prepping a floor for a coating. They come in both electrical and propane, and they come in all sizes. Up there in the corner, you have a little 110 unit, and then on up to a 10-inch ride-on. Shot blasters work by propelling little metal pellets towards the concrete, bouncing off whatever it is, breaking it up, and then going back into the machine. The shot itself is recycled until it gets too small. The dust is taken out to a dust collector. One thing with shot blasters, they will not work on anything that absorbs the impact. So if it is a soft, rubbery coating, the shot will just bounce off. If it is a real thick, sticky coating, then it's just going to stick to the surface. Again, it won't remove it. And then we don't have a shaver, okay. Shavers and planers. These are used, again, for removal or prep for a heavier coating. Your shaver can be used for decorative coatings or cuttings. You can see there on the left-hand side. They're also used for safety grooving. Up there in the top right-hand corner, they're using it to level a floor. So they can take it and cut the high spots out of the floor to make it a flush floor. There in the background, you see that it's hooked to a HEPA vacuum. All of our equipment that cuts and grinds can be used either wet or with a HEPA vacuum to help you conform with OSHA laws. And then here is a video of
Oh, okay. Well, and again, friendly reminder, all of these will be on your memory stick, and they are, for those of you that might not be able to see them, I myself am one of them, and I just got a text from Todd, who's in Nashville. He also is not able to see them. No worries, they will be on the memory sticks, which we'll have at your convention, and they are absolutely worth a look. If you're not familiar with this, if you've not run these machines, they'll show you both the results and the fact that they're quite easy to operate.
We talked about the shavers have a big, large diamond drum that actually cuts out the concrete. It's more like a surgical piece of equipment cutting it out. So if you have something that you need to lower a quarter an inch, half an inch, that's what your shaver will do. It leaves like a little fine corduroy that you might be able to see in that picture that's real easy to knock off with a grinder. Then grinders. Grinders are for removal, for prep. Of course, in the polishing section, they're used for grinding, honing, and polishing. They come in both electric and propane in various different sizes, as you see here in the picture. This video here shows the Edco dual head versus one of our 30 propanes. This is definitely a very impressive video for people to see that have tried to remove this glue off the concrete. The propane units are planetary. So you look at that little diagram there on the left, you have 3 heads spinning, and then they're all mounted to a large plate that counterspins. This slide really loses its appeal when you can't see it. So definitely check that out at the booth.
When you talk about, when you put it in perspective on what our overreaching theme is, and that is to help you grow your business, what that video will do for you is it really shows you the value of using, whether you want to own it, whether you want to borrow it, whether you want to rent it. Make sure it's the right piece, because that poor guy on the right, Ron, if you'll just flip back, this poor gentleman on the right-hand side was trying for hours to remove that mastic that was underneath. He scraped off the tile. He got the vinyl tile off there, okay, it looks like. But now he's got to remove this mastic, and he's getting nowhere. And you'll see this in the video. He's like, bringing a water gun to a gunfight, so to speak. And that is Ron Bridges on the left. That's the gentleman that's speaking now, and you'll see him as we get to know each other better. He'll be around, and hopefully we'll do some hands-on workshops with you, which we'll tell you about as well. But he comes in with the Lavina 30 propane, fires it up, and with a pass, he gets every bit of the mastic off, and it's ready to do whatever you want. If you want to put some coating down there, if you want to change the bits on the bottom of those plates to a 70 grit, or go on up to a polished concrete, you'll use the very same grinder there on the left with different bits and pucks to bring it up to the polish you might be looking for. If you just want to prep the floor, that's what he would be doing right there with what's called 30 grit bits. And again, we certainly understand the bit of the technical difficulty, but when you get a chance to see this, it'll be crystal clear that we can help you, and please do.
And with the diamonds, you have tooling for every application. In this picture, we've got a little sampling of different diamonds. You've got your different bond diamonds to the left. You've got your hybrid diamonds next to those. Then you've got polishing pucks. And then over to the right, you have some specialty tooling for, again, specialty applications. So we can take that grinder, we can prep for a coating, we can just walk away with ground concrete, we can hone the concrete, or we can polish it up till you actually have a shine on that concrete with the same machine. And air scrubbers. Air scrubbers are kind of brought into here. They don't really do anything to prep the floor, but whenever you're working in maybe a construction site or an office environment, you're going to be creating dust. And air scrubbers will help you minimize that dust. It takes the air in, runs it through a HEPA filter, and then blows it out the side there. You can use these in two different ways. You can just use it to clean the air in the room that you're in, and that's where it's just filtering and blowing right back into the room. Or you can use it to create a negative environment. And what that is where you drape off or tent the area that you're working. You put the air scrubber inside the area that you're working, and you duct the clean air out of the tent. What that does is the air is made up from around the seams of the tent so that dust and the likes cannot escape that room that you've set up. And then, as Rory put at the beginning of the show, you're not going alone. We offer training. This is our training schedule of this upcoming year. We have 12 of them across the country where we actually do hands-on training through the entire grinding and polishing process, including concrete repair and concrete staining. We also offer, at our General Tools, we offer AWP and forklift training. So the training is there, the support is there.
The schedule that you see, Ron, if you'll just go back, is also...
Yep, I'm going back.
The schedule that you see there, you're invited. Joyce has a PDF version of that, and hopefully you can pull it off this webinar, or she can maybe give it to you. Or I know I'm shamelessly plugging our attendance. I apologize, but Todd and Brian will have copies of these at your convention, and we'd love you to join us. They're free of charge. We do not charge for it. We invest quite a bit to make them happy. We fly Ron, and our partner we partner very closely with a group called Niagara. You see their logo on there. They're experts as well. So we do put quite a bit of investment into them, including a free breakfast and lunch and sundry things. But most importantly, you walk away with an incredible amount of confidence to go out and either bid these jobs, give consultant work to your customers, and quite frankly, they're great networking experiences. We've actually gotten emails back from people that have gotten work from it because they met somebody that they wanted to partner up with. So they're great networking experiences, and we will be doing more. This was our first wave at building out a schedule. I talked to our director earlier today, and he's already green-lighted us more opportunities as we move through 2020 to put additional events up. So as we get to know you and you get to know us, let us work with you on these kind of hands-on events. And Joyce, I think I've mentioned to you and Kimberly, if ever you have an event where you want us to do something just for your group, we'd be happy to put that together as well. The AWP we do charge a little bit for. There is a fee associated with that. But the concrete work is all on us. We're very happy to bring that to you at no charge. Ron, back to you, sir.
Well, actually, I will let you close us out, Rory.
Yeah. So the way that, and again, our goal isn't to sell you or give you anything you don't need. Our goal is to help you grow. A lot of these projects are very site specific. They're very time sensitive. This equipment is heavy, it's high maintenance equipment. We know that because we have techs in every one of our locations and they work on them all the time. So if you want to own them and you need to know how to go about buying them, we'll be happy to introduce you to our partner, Niagara, and they'll be happy to sell them to you. If you think rental is a good option, here's a little way for us to say thank you for your time. There's a 10% off anything that Sunbelt rents. The way the rental business works is we have not to exceed rates. They're called NTE, not to exceed rates. So if you come by our facilities and we're getting to know you and help you grow your business, you can use this card for 10% off, and we'll be glad to work with you on additional reasons to rent if this is something that you may be interested. If a machine's sitting in our warehouse, it's not doing us any good, and it's not doing you any good either. So our goal is to get these things out there where they're doing you and your customers and us, what it's designed to do. These phone numbers, if you don't have a relationship with Sunbelt at this time, this 844-723-4778 number is our team. It's our sales support team. We've got 5 people right now answering those calls all day. Now they'll roll into after hours calls, so it's a good number to have if you run into trouble. It'll roll into the 24/7. But if you wanted to have somebody come out and visit with you or find out, what's happening near you, feel free to call that number and we'll get you connected. If you wanted a quote, we actually usually call this fast quotes. This flooring.info@sunbeltrentals.com. Anytime, 24/7, you shoot in what you need to that flooring.info@sunbeltrentals.com. You need a quote on a grinder, scraper, need somebody to come out and take a look at a floor. If you don't have a relationship, they'll hook you up within minutes of a local person near you, and you'll get a call back right away. On the weekends, it might take a little longer, but not much, and we're glad to help you. I don't know if we're going to open it up for questions, Joyce. We'd be glad to answer any questions. And again, our mission here is to help you grow your business. I hope it doesn't appear as anything less than that, because we know if you're just renting and you're not growing it, that's not good for you. So we have a lot of other equipment, including scrubbers and scissor lifts and all kinds of things that you might need in a hurry. But this is our area of expertise. I'll be quiet in case there are any questions and that Ron or I can answer.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Rory and Ron. For those of you who are attending, if you have a question of these two gentlemen about Sunbelt Rentals on any level, about any item or any issue, go to the lower left-hand box of your screen. You'll see the box that has the tabs Announcements, Presenter Info, Q&A, and Handouts. Click on the Q&A tab and submit a question for these gentlemen. Anything is a okay question to ask at this point in time. So please let us know what questions you might have, and I will let them know as soon as we see anything.
Yeah, Joyce, now that I'm looking at this, they can also click on the more, and they will see those videos that we were.
Absolutely.
You got it.
Absolutely. If you want to see each of the separate videos, you can do exactly as was indicated. Check on the More tab, and you can watch those videos on your own. Okay, I don't see any questions coming in. I'll keep my eyes peeled in case any do, but in the meantime, I'm looking at what the time is, and I just want to say on behalf of FCICA, thank you to both Rory and Ron for presenting today's product webinar about Sunbelt Rentals. If you are a sim and you have been watching this webinar and want credit for that, you may navigate to the Submit Credit tab on the screen to complete a brief feedback survey and earn credit for participating in today's webinar. Reminder, you need to be logged into the platform to submit credit. On behalf of FCICA, thanks so much for joining us, and have a great day.